Hello, good Saturday, everyone. Happy upcoming tax day. This is Joel Westlink, and welcome to the Gaming Shack. Today, we're gonna try something very different. We're gonna go from the modern era of gaming. We're gonna go all the way back, and I mean really back, to the day of Atari, the original, the first successful gaming company, the first one, Atari. And what we're primarily going to do is we're going to look at the games. This is actually on Steam. This is available. It's called the Atari Vault. This is a what this is basically, in a way, it's a virtual library of Atari's history in the industry. Because yeah, Atari, it's for a period of time, I'd say mid-late 70s to early 80s, Atari was pretty much the industry. They were pretty much the whole thing. Sure, there were competitions, but to this day, Atari is still mentioned. Maybe because the name's a very interesting name. But first off, let's start with their first major successful game. And first off, I have to mention all these arcade cabinets here. Really good dedication to detail, putting in these actual cabinets just to show what they look like at a time. This here is a game called Major Havoc. There's Millipede. There's Missile Command. But here is the original. This was their first successful game, Pong. A simple game, simple to pick up, a game that's not addictive, but a quarter eater. So we're going to start by playing this game. It might be hard to play it because being on a controller, not on a joystick. So we'll see. Also, I do have the sound off on the games. The sound for Atari, yeah, is kind of brutal. Oop, 1-0. So I'm playing the PC. I think you can have multiplayer with this. Huh. I'll have to look. 1-1. But yeah, this is I'd say a good replication of the arcade, at least. Maybe not as high def or high textured. Yeah. Another thing, nowadays gaming is far more complex, far larger. This was something for its time. Yeah, 2-5. Okay. All right. So the objective of Pong is just competitive. Just score points. Think of it like table tennis, except you are playing virtual table tennis, which actually was the first game actually made. There was a game made using old radar equipment that was table tennis. Oh, sneaky. All right. Let's see. It's going to go down here, so I need to do this. Make it a little faster. Okay, nope. There. Now see you can add a little spin to the ball. Just depending on where you're hitting it with the paddle, it's actually pretty nice. It is. But it's definitely not my cup of tea. The thing is, I didn't grow up with Atari. I grew up just after Atari. I don't want to say too much because later on I will talk a lot more about Atari and talk about its first to 11 wins. So I made a comeback, but boy, I didn't. I fell apart there. But anyway, okay, so we'll just do that. Okay, so yeah, just basically restart. The difference is I don't have to put 25 cents in. Or, was it 10 cents back then? Maybe it was just 25 cents. That's pretty much how Pong operated. Just put 25 cents in, play a game. Simple game, just very simple graphics. Just a dotted line representing the net and simple square blocks representing the paddles. And yeah, Pong was a major success. You want to know how it was? Just by how many people tried to imitate it. How many people tried to? Just get a sweet bit of that pong of the pong. Just a little bit of it. Okay. Let's see. Yep. Yep. There we go. Oh. 5-4. Well, I'm giving him 3 points, but let's see. So yeah, Pong. All right, here we go. All right, just oh, he did it for me, but he did. Oh, okay. Yeah, with a control stick, it's a little harder. As the paddle definitely moves a lot faster. I remember playing it on let's see, in the early 2000s. I know there was a company called Jack Pacifics that made pretty much the earliest example of a console remake. It was basically a ton of Atari games on a plastic joystick that you played by connecting it to the TV. This here. So okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna pause. We're gonna go back to main menu. So let's see. So Pong. Let's see. So yeah, Atari again. It was one of the bigs. Its major successful system was known as the 2600, which quite a while back, I did find in my crawl space in my parents' home. Found the box that was the Atari 2600, but it didn't have the console in it. Found that in the garage. So okay, so this here's the Atari 2600. So you see a ton of games here. And the first thing I gotta say is it's just the box art for a lot of them are very impressive. You think, oh, this is gonna look great and all, but when you load up one of these games, though, like this one here, Slot Racers. I mean, you just look at it. Look how futuristic that box is. There we go. Slot Racer, 2 players. Yep, it's a 2-player game. Let's give it a shot. But when you load it up, that's what you get. This was gaming. This was video games at the time. But for me, I grew up at the time at the late stages of the NES and the stage of the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. That's where I got introduced to video games. Atari, I was introduced to later. And my first reaction to Atari was, I wonder if I can play this with, okay, so, let's see, let's see, can I play it with one player, or just, let me see. I think I'm doing something. Am I? Nope. Yeah, okay, so maybe I do need 2 players for this game, but let's see. Okay, let's look for a game that's 1 player at least. Let's see. Oh, these games are interesting here. These are called Sword Quest. They were part of a competition that Atari had set up. 4 games. Four games. The winner, as the bottom of the box says, play the 150,000 Sword Quest challenge. I would love to talk more about this, but I think primarily I just want to focus on the games right now themselves. I mean, these games do have a bit of a history, an interesting history, because not only would you win prize money, you'd win You'd win an item related to said game. And these items would include a cup, let's see, a gilded sword, and a crown even. With, let's see, I think the final prize was like a winner-take-all, but this contest was never completed. And I will simply say a few words why. Because these games came out just as Atari and the video game industry crashed in late 82, early 83, depending on how you look at it, whether it's and yeah, I don't want to talk too much about it because I'm saving this for a future episode about of course the Atari, its history and And of course, the video game crash that brought the industry to about an end, to about a disastrous halt, just a disaster. And when you look at the crash itself, there's more than just a simple reason of, because one video game was such a disastrously made game that caused the crash. No, it's more like pieces, more like things. Not one thing, things that caused the crash. So we have free Sword Quest games. There was going to be a fourth one, but the fourth one was never made. This one here, the Waterworld one, I think was the third one. And you'll notice that it doesn't have the $150,000 prize on it. It doesn't. Oh, it does say it right here. Win $25,000 jeweled crown. So yeah, you would win actual prizes. And there were winners. There were. It's just they never could finish it because Atari went belly up. I mean, the name's still around today. I thought I heard that they are looking to enter the console market again, but we'll see. So let's see. Let's look for a, iconic game on here. Let's see. Let's look at... Let's look at Breakout. Look at Breakout. This game, let's see. It has not only a connection to Atari, but it has a connection to Apple. As this was the game, I believe this is the game that Steve Jobs and Jobs and Wozniak, the two men that would go on to find the Apple Computer Company, which, well, nowadays pretty much is one of the largest companies in the world. So at least a tiny piece of Atari did survive, I would say. I mean, tiny, but anyway, yeah, they made this game. I believe Jobs took the money he got for making this game to find Apple. Breakout, it's pretty much, again, it's Pong, but except you're just playing against yourself and you're trying to destroy these bricks. Pretty much the premise. I mean, again, back then, video games did not need like a necessary... They didn't need a plot. They didn't need anything complex. It was just basically simple, straightforward, and play. I think the first time I encountered Breakout was actually on the Game Boy. There was a game called Alleyway, which was an obvious knockoff of Breakout that had Mario, Nintendo's mascot, in the game that I played for the Game Boy. And I will say, the paddle, like Pong, it moves pretty fast here, actually. Very responsive. But yeah, again, the goal is you want to hit this little square that's a ball, and just break these bricks, and go for a high score. So yeah, I have 5. Okay, so 5 attempts. Score 2. Oh. Overshot that. Nope, can't use the control pad. It's the stick. Okay, so definite feel to the to the joystick. Yeah. But here's the thing. I'm using an Xbox One controller for this. The an Atari controller was just one button and a joystick that you can move in 8 different directions. There were other control pads for Atari, but oh wow. What can I say about them? A lot of them were very complex. Huh. I can adjust the paddle size. Feature steerable ball, catch. Let's try that. I don't know. I don't think these options were available in the let's see. I don't think these options were available in the original, but if they were, okay. I'm trying with a smaller paddle. Oof. And you just notice how fast the ball gets after it hits a couple things. I'm gonna try and see if I can try and hit multiple. But I think to do that, I'd have to get up. I'd have to get the ball higher up into the other end of our field. And okay, woof. That is how fast it goes. Wow. Oh, there's even a challenge for an invisible ball. Ooh. So that is interesting. That is very interesting. And oh, hey, if you want to play it in black and white, you can. Because this is probably what most people saw when they played it on the Atari. I think, because I think black and white TVs were still in use at least, or by the. I'm trying to remember the release date of this game because this was in Atari's early days. Okay. So, nope. Okay, but yeah. One of these days I'll get it up to the top of the screen. Or not. Okay. So this was the game that, Steve Jobs and Wozniak made. It was a successful game. It was. I mean, to this day. I also remember occasionally in school, this game was on Apple computers, so occasionally would play it. And of course, I had to play it with a keypad. Keypad, no controller. So, But yeah, okay. So, but again, I gotta say the box art for this game is for most of these games are pretty impressive, especially after you load up the game after you play it. It's just wow. They put a lot of effort into the art to make it feel like this is what you're doing. Just more often, you'd have to use your imagination to play most of these games. Here, we'll do this one. Centipede. So, there's a regular. So we're gonna do regular. So, oh, I can. Okay, so I can use the control pad here, but I can't use the control stick for this. I think the objective is I need to defeat the centipede. In a way, this is very similar to Space Invaders. I'd say at least it's similarity because why I say that is because Space Invaders, you control a vehicle that's shooting, we're gonna say lasers, and you're taking down enemies. In fact, I need to check and see if Space Invaders was on here or not. There we go. Yeah, I'll say it's definitely a more complex game than Space Invaders because the invaders will just be coming down to you slowly, and you got the centipede just moving faster. And yeah, you have this little bug that comes in. It's like the UFO for this game, and you get bonus points. But yeah, again, games didn't have to have a narrative. They didn't have to have story back then. It was just basically high score. See what you can do. Can you beat the high score? Can you be the one that, I got caught by the centipede. I think I'm down to my last life. Whew. For a second there, I forgot the control pad. I can only use that. Ooh. So, okay. Wow. So, yeah. So, I think I had what? Yeah, okay. I see where the life counter is at. So, everything you need to know, all the information is on this screen. Although, it feels weird looking at the bottom of the screen. Most games, when you want the information or a HUD, they're at the top of the screen. That's an odd adjustment. Because Centipede I did not play before, so I'd say I'm not doing too bad for a first timer attempt. Know of it, of course. Okay. And here we go, down to the last one, if I can get him. Yep. Bye. Yeah, I couldn't get him. Yeah, it's like Space Invaders. It is just. At least it does enough to differentiate itself from Space Invaders. I definitely like the little maze set up the centipede. I think actually the centipede's breaking up actually, huh? And okay, got him, and there we go. Yeah, shooting these guys will give me lots of bonus points. There. Okay, maybe we might get to 10,000. I think that's. I'm trying to think what's the highest score for this game? It's just. Okay. Well, we did a little higher, so hey, 10,000. All right. Yep. So we're going to go back to the main menu here. We're going to go back to main menu. So again, the box art it again doesn't look like what you're seeing in the game itself. You see, I'm assuming that's an exterminator with a cape, and you're taking on a cartoonish centipede and spider. So what we were fighting was a spider too. Okay. Let's see what we can. Let's see if we can find another well-known Atari game on here. Let's see. This is some of these I've never seen before. Double Dunk. Of course, there was even back then there were sports video games in terms of football and golf. Oh yeah, even back then, way before the days of EA pretty much conquering the market in sports gaming. There's also a little game that, first grade to high schoolers can play Hangman, a game that you only need just a chalkboard or a piece of paper. Haunted House, this might be one of the earliest horror games made for the Atari. And sure, the box art looks very creepy, it's supposed to be like a spooky kind of thing. But then you look at the back of the box, you do see, they do give you a screenshot of the game, and that's pretty much what it is. Just blocks, bleeps, boops, and minor spooks. Home run. This is a baseball here. This is millipede. Get rid of the pesky pest with a bow and arrow. Yeah, there's Missile Command also for the Atari. This again, a number of their arcade games that they made, they did port to the 2600. Would be nice if they had like a picture of the Atari 2600 on here that I could show. At least Pong Sports. 50 games in one. Yeah. There's Radar Lock. I'm not seeing. Okay. Oh, Return to Haunted House. That's a sequel. So, there's a few games I'm not noticing here on the Atari 2600's library. One, of course, being No Space Invaders, unless that is in the arcade. But I know they had it on Atari. But anyway, there's Missile Command, there's Millipede. But there was a time when. So there's also Tempest. So I'm tempted to play this game, but I don't know if anyone's watching, if they have like seizures or high sensitivity to light, because this game, it does flash. It does a lot of lights, a lot of flashing lights. There's Asteroid Deluxe, Black Widow. Okay, here's the arcade version of Centipede. So I'll do the arcade version of Centipede. Let's see how it looks. Wow. So copyright 1980 Atari. And there are high scores there. The high score is 16,000. So with the Atari 2600, you saw blocks mainly. This is definitely more detailed, obviously, because an arcade cabinet, it has more power to it. It can do more. So, but I mean, it's amazing that these are actually mushrooms. They're not just simple bricks. Sadly, though, although I will say the bricks were much easier to destroy than the mushrooms. They take several shots right away. I can use the control stick. I can do it. Amazing. I can do that. I definitely like for the arcade, they do show like in this box art with the centipede right here. Looks menacing, looks tough. It's so weird that the box art for the game makes the centipede look cartoonish. I guess maybe because, again, back then, games were mainly seen as, kids' toys, for fun. Kids play it. But, so let's see, a bonus every 12,000 points. So I guess that is, I get a certain number of points, I would get another life. But, two players can play this. Okay, so we're going to... But obviously the arcade versions, first off, are going to definitely look better than the Atari 2600 counterparts, because Atari 2600 was not that powerful of a system. From my memory, I would say there's not a lot of them that looked great. I mean, Let's look at this one. Crystal Castles. It's, first off, you gotta like the artwork on the sides here. It looks really, really inviting, really impressive looking. In some cases, I'd say some of these arcade cabinets were art. At least the cabinets themselves. But here, okay. So yeah, this is a game that's on the arcade. And yeah, right away I can tell you it's basically a Pac-Man clone. Because around this time Pac-Man had come out, it was a major successful game. Oop. They got the last gem, no bonus. Except here I'm not playing as a yellow hockey puck with a yellow pizza with one slice missing. I'm playing I'm going to say a bear, or at least a bear. Yeah, it looks like the objective of this game, yeah, it's a bear, so honey gives me additional bonus points. Oh, I get caught by the trees. I got caught by them. But I didn't get the last gem. So, there, I got it. So I get bonus points. But again, that's the thing with a lot of these games. They were all about your highest score. How far could you get? Can you put another quarter? You can put another quarter in if you want more. So let's see. So we got a dancing skeleton. We got, I'm going to say, one-eyed centipedes or caterpillars, and we have a wizard's cap. Let's see. I can go this way. Yeah. There we go. And now I'm wearing the hat. Let's see. All right. I have no idea what that was. Okay, I'm blocked in. Oh, I did lose the hat, so it was it was actually an extra hit. That's actually pretty revolutionary. Huh. Again, this arcade, if it was put on the Atari on the 2600, it probably wouldn't have looked very good. It would have been. So I want to get up there. I want to get up on that little elevator. He's a little hard to control. A little hard. I can do this. And I get captured. Get captured by a dust cloud. I'm just going to say it's a dust cloud. That's game over on that one. So, well, I got into the Hall of Fame. Here. But, yeah, I'm 197. I would like to see who scored first place. Here, let's do this. Let's see. Oh, all right. Here. There. Okay. Okay, so it does give me hints. Magic hat makes you invincible. Where you can kill Berfilda. Okay, so that's a witch character. Did not see her. Catch gem eaters when they are eaten. So, okay, so that's their name, a gem eater. Stay away when they are moving from gem to gem. Take too much time and the swarm returns. Those are supposed to be bees. Huh. So, yeah. So, And I've never heard of this game I've never heard of this game before I bought this. I did not. Whoop. Yeah. I do have somewhat of a free movement here. It's it's very impressive for its time. It is. Before you think just the Atari era was just pretty much beeps, bloops, squares, bricks, and that kind of stuff. This game, however, the arcades though, they did have some impressive looking games. I know there was a Dragon's Lair and Space Ace that were fully animated games. They were basically choose your own adventure games where we had to basically choose the path you needed to go. Of course, playing Dragon's Lair, it's surprisingly pretty hard. Surprisingly. Because any wrong choice you make, well, you die in a somewhat comedic way. Somewhat. Let's see. Yeah, so Oh, that lets me resume. Oh, so I can pause the game. Let me see if we can do a gallery a second. Let me see. So yeah, this is an actual, let's see if I can zoom in the picture a second. Let me see. Okay, I zoomed in. I'm zooming in, so okay, I thought I'd go full screen for the image. Okay. But yeah, this is the Pong arcade. Although, from what I heard, the original arcade, the original one didn't look this impressive. This is obviously a more polished, clean one. There we go. Advertisement for it. From Atari Corporation, Synergy Energized, Pong, the newest two-player video skill game. And and of course they said the team that pioneered video technology. Well, I'm not gonna say too much about the guy who was the original head of Atari. Let's see, Nolan Buswell, I believe was his name. I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. Buswell is a bit of a character. Not only is he known for being the guy that made Atari, he's also the guy who was part of the Chuck E. Cheese franchise, the pizzeria with the animatronic mouse and friends. So yeah, that's a thing too. And here again with Pong's success, this was Pong doubles. Now have 4 players. And then there's Quadra Pong. I've never seen a box like this. I never have. I've never seen that. That's actually kind of impressive to see. And let's see, this here's a little screen here. And yeah, there's also, this is obviously from the 90s. This is from Tiger Electronics. Anyone that grew up around that time probably played with one of these. It wasn't much. I was not impressed with these Tiger Electronics. I mean, come on. I had a Game Boy as a kid, and I felt that was a lot better. Even back then, I felt that this Tiger electronic stuff was just meh. It was just meh. Okay, so that's the end of the gallery for that. I mean, it would be nice to actually go someplace where they have the actual cabinet arcade, so you get a look at it. It would be, because again, Pong is the first successful game. It's the first game that made the gaming industry. I mean, there's other games that did come before it, but they were a lot like experimental. They were more like, oh, just a fun test. Hee hee, let's see what this does. There was a game called Space Wars. I know that came before that. So I do want to mention that. But it's not really like connected to Atari, at least. But anyway, okay, so Pong, and there's another game here called Red Baron. Let's see, if I recall, this game was vector graphics. This was pretty impressive. This was, because it kind of blew my mind, because I thought you couldn't do something like this back in the 1980s. You couldn't do that, because I'm going like, wow, the Nintendo 64, this is the first time to see something that's, in a way, three-dimensional. So, okay, controls. Yeah, we're on the, yeah, okay, so we're going to go there. Game. So, yeah, I can do starting lives, have a max of 6. Huh. Oh, I could adjust the bonus lives. I can go with a never. I could go with, like, a real super difficult run. So, huh. Which, yeah, you could not, I don't think you couldn't adjust, you could not adjust the game. You couldn't adjust these games. These arcade games back then, but, okay. So we're going to go back. Okay, we're going to go, let's see, back a second. Okay, so there's options. So we'll go right to play. We'll see what we can do. Yeah, these are vector graphics, so let's see. So yeah, a lot of movement and a lot of scoring. And yeah, it doesn't look very impressive today, but back then this was something that was like mind-blowing. You know, like you're looking at an early attempt at a three-dimensional plane. And I'm not referring to plane as in, the airplane. I'm referring to, well, I just crashed into a mountain. Yeah. It's just simple, like, little lines and stuff. But I didn't really think there could be anything like that back then. I thought it was just basically, you know, 8-bit, 16-bit period. Oh, I can destroy that. Well, let's hope that was the enemy. Okay. Whew. Yeah, you see the Atari Incorporated signal down here. As I was saying earlier, the score, high score, and all that stuff is like right there. It's like right up top, which is nice because I'm used to that. I am. Played a lot of games that do that, so then it works because you're looking up here. So bonus life, huh? We're taking the planes. I definitely like. I'm liking what I do anytime I do hit one of these planes. It just like slowly crumbles apart. It's not like what would happen if you hit a real plane. It would, yeah. Oh, those things do. Okay, those things do fire at me. Okay. I mean, yeah. Let's see. And plus, as a kid, I did play Star Fox, which was on the Super Nintendo. Oh, went down. Oh, still got fruit. Oh, spoke too soon. Oh, when you do crash, you do get a little explosion. You do. Yeah, at first they didn't shoot at me, but now they are. Huh. Yeah, you gotta do a lot of ducking, dodging, maneuvering, and hope. Okay, so I can't. So I don't think I can shoot their target. Nope, I can't. Wow. Boom. Oop. Huh. Well, I guess I gotta move right away. Yeah, I do. But here, look at this right here. It's like you're in an arena basically. It's just impressive. It just is. Great score. Enter your initials. Change letter with joystick. Select with fire button. I'm doing that, but I can't. So I'll just go with AAA. There we go. So press start, free play. And again, like with any arcade, if you were to play it, you'd have to go. Here, we're going to do this. But yeah, this is basically a pretty impressive game. It's and again, just the arcade box art. You just don't really see something like that anymore. Because nowadays, most video games, when you buy like on a box or you buy it digitally and you see the cover title, it looks okay. Looks nice. Looks nice. There's some that are mind-blowingly good. There are, but okay. So this is Sprint. This is definitely an arcade. Looking at the cabinet here, first thing I look at is just look at the steering wheel and the accelerator down underneath. That's a real nice touch, and it does actually work. It does. Let's look at the gallery at this for a second. Okay, so I'm definitely liking the advertisement for this game right here. It's trying to emphasize fast. It's trying to tell you, hey, this game's fast. It's quick. Play it. But then when you, again, like I said with any Atari game, the box art is more impressive than the actual game itself. Because the actual game, look in there, it's just dots, lines. It's just basically you're playing a racetrack. That's all you're doing. Basically, this is years before Mario Kart. Oh, wow, only 2? Huh. Maybe there'd be a little more like a little bit more advertisement they would show for this or something. Yeah. Let's see. And yeah, they even showed the screen what it would look like. So yeah. But here, okay, here's Super Breakout. Let's do that. Let's do that for comparison to the Atari Breakout. But yeah, so 2 players can play. The paddle's small. Definitely moves slower than the 2600 version. Huh, there's other looks like there's other balls up there too. I wonder what happens if I broke one of them out. I wonder what happened. I wonder if. And I'm gonna say for some weird right away, I'm gonna say the Atari 2600 version one does look a little better. A little better. I mean, a little disappointed. I thought this would be a little more colorful. I mean, at least the 2600, it had lots of colors to it. Here I'm just seeing green, red, but I will give it credit that it has like additional balls here, which I think I break them out. I will probably have to hit them back as well. The paddle definitely moves slower. So, I wonder if I'm kind of wondering, did they switch the arcade in the 2600 version by mistake? Nope. Now see, it's All right. We'll try one more time with this. We'll try one more. Okay. So there we go. Atari. All right. Oh, by the way, let's see. Atari is a Japanese word. It comes from a game that Bush will love to play. Okay. So yeah, I'm not too impressed with Super Breakout. I'm not too impressed with it. Because wow, it feels like I would feel like that any of these arcades would at least look better than the 2600s, than their 2600 counterpart. This though, no. Wow. Okay. Just not that impressive. But here is Tempest, Asteroids. Let's do regular Asteroids. No need for deluxe. So Asteroids objective, copyright 1979 Atari. So this game is 40 years old. 40 years old. Wow. Okay, so the objective is basically just shoot and break asteroids apart. And I know I can move. I just realized I can't move with the I can't move with the joystick, the control stick. I can't do that, but I can use the control pad. Okay, that's interesting. And I mean, I'm moving the ship, but it's okay. Oh, that's definitely an adjustment there. My score can't be one of the 10 best. It can't. It really can't. Come on, I barely did anything. Wow. Okay. All right. We'll try this again. So I'm guessing the side controls allow me to move and shoot in any direction I want, which that's actually pretty nice. Nice touch to this game. It's very simple, but it's not. It is kind of pleasing, and the asteroids do move pretty fast, especially as it gets smaller. So there's definitely a degree of challenge coming along, because yeah, they are harder to shoot. Whew. And you just see some of them just come right up close to your ship, and oh wow. Wow. Huh. Let's see. I don't have the sound on for these. Wow. See, there's a UFO right there. I mean, this came out in the late 70s, so around that time when, you know, our culture was very obsessed with space. I think just a couple years prior, Star Wars had came out. It became a massive successful film, and then you have Space Invaders. So, So I can turn the up button. Apparently makes me do that. Yeah. I guess that's the only asteroid I need to destroy. So I need to basically just shoot around, just see if I can hit it. I think I hit it. Yes, I did. So yeah, you just break up the bigger rocks and you just turn them into littler rocks. Okay, so the down button teleports me? Huh. Might be nice to get me out of a jam. But yeah, I can move a little bit. Although I don't know, do I have like complete control of the teleport it has to be teleportation, because yeah. I don't know I could do that. Huh. I know I've played Asteroid. I know I have. Yep. Oh, oof. Okay, that's near 5,000 points. Near it. But yeah, this is definitely a pretty impressive game. If I was, you know, a teenager in the 1970s and just wanted to waste a couple quarters, I could see myself playing this. I definitely could. It's again, the art detail on the sides is pretty nice to see. It makes me feel like I'm, at least with this vault, it's called the Atari Vault, by the way. It makes me feel like that I am playing the arcade at least. I will say though, the controls are probably they could have used a little more work. For some cases, I felt like with Breakout, the paddle was a little too fast, and yet the arcade one was much slower. And it's supposed to be Super Breakout. You think that would make it better? No, no, it doesn't. So AA again. And I would put other things in there. I'd get creative, but I don't know. So yeah, I have a number of lives. So okay, we're gonna go back to main menu a second. But yeah, it definitely. Yeah, Asteroid, it is definitely one of the iconic games in Atari's library. It is one of the tops, I would say. Let's see. Let's look at a game like Missile Command. Let's look at that one. Game from Atari. The game's premise, again, a lot of these games, a simple premise. That's all they have. Defend cities. You are defending the cities from, well, from missile attacks, and you're basically destroying them with your ammo. And I'm out of ammo. Do I get more ammo? How do I get more ammo? Okay. Well, looks like I'm about ready to defend 6. Looks like all those cities I wanted to defend are gone. Oof. Well, we're going to watch the fireworks. For some reason it says out. And look at this. My missile defense bases are just wiped out. Wow. Oof. So, okay, I'm going to jump out of the main menu for a second. I'm going to take a look at the direct options for this. I'm going to see. Controls? Let me see. Okay. So move, yeah, move is with the L button. Alpha fire, Delta fire, Omega fire. I can fire different options. But it doesn't tell me how I could reload. Starting city 6, bonus city after. Yeah, you get a free city after 10,000 points. So, okay, back. We'll just go back to resume a second. So it's pretty much. Ooh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh. Out. And boom. Ooh, wow. Sorry for the flash and lights. The end. The end. I gotta say, this game actually is kind of depressing. It's you're trying to protect and defend these cities, and all I did was barely protect them. But I will say, definitely the pointer moving it around feels kind of nice. But yeah. But again, all the premise this game has is just you're defending cities from a missile attack from some unknown enemy. It doesn't matter who. You're just defending these cities. That's all you're doing. And yeah, the demo here, they're doing a lot better job than I did. Yep. But I gotta say, it's kind of depressing. You think it's a game over, but instead it said the end. That's all it said. So, and this game did come out in 1980, so yeah, it definitely fit with the time period. Cold War was still going on. We're going to pause this a second. We're going to go to main menu. We're going to try, I think we're going to do one more game. And I am going to do 2600. Let's do, and yeah, as I said, there are 2600 versions of Atari, and 2600 versions of the arcade games, and this is Missile Command's one of them. Okay, yeah. Let's do Haunted House. Let's do that one. One player. Not gonna randomize. We're gonna go with that. Wow, it's a very lovely screen. I'm just a pair of eyes. You know, the box art, it looks very impressive, creepy looking, but So basically, I'm moving my cartoon eyes around. Okay. I'm assuming that's a spider. That is a spider. So, I'm now a glowing pair of eyes. I glow now. Okay, nope. I guess the spider doesn't want me to go that way. Can I go this way? No? No? I guess I'm using this light to find keys. I think that's what I'm doing. Over here, maybe? No? Yeah, we'll go this way. This way, maybe? Huh. Okay. Nope. Huh. Did I find something? I'm assuming that's a bat. I'm going to assume that's a bat. Not a baseball bat. Wow. Ooh. You don't want me to go in there, do you? I definitely like how when you move the little black dots that are supposed to represent your irises. They are definitely it's definitely pretty impressive for an Atari game. It really is. But figuring out what am I doing now? What am I doing with this game? And am I supposed to be looking for keys? No, okay. Okay, I think I did something. What'd I do? I think I found something. Found another something. I found something. Ooh, now we're in a green room. And we're being chased by the spider. Okay, we're being chased by the spider. So we'll look around here a little bit. Ooh, I found a wand. So I can take these two items. So I can carry a limited number of items. Okay. But really, I do see very early elements of survival horror games with this game. I really do. Oh, yeah, I got a trophy. And I got caught by the bat. Okay, I definitely like the little spin thing. This is definitely not a scary game. This is just hilarious. At some point. Wish I had a little more time. I could show you some of the other games like Adventure, which, by the way, does have the first Easter egg. That's where the Easter egg came from. Oh, I get hit by the spider. And my googly eyes it's just circling. It's just going around in circles. So the animation's definitely very nice. Did I go back a level? Okay. So just basically I have to touch and press what I assume is a door. So yeah, I'll say the layout at least is not perfect. It's pretty much the same room except I'm now going. Okay, so I'm now I'm assuming 4th floor. We're gonna say that. Nope, 3rd, 4th. So okay, we're gonna go this way. No, okay, no. Yeah, we're gonna look around, see if I can find something. Nope, we're gonna go back to the 4th. Okay. No. Just gonna run away from you. Okay, finding nothing else so far. Oh, there's a ghost. There's one. Oh, maybe I should have ran towards it. You never know. Could have been a helpful ghost. It brought me back down to free. So, yeah, again, it's one of those things where you don't know what you're supposed to do. All I know is I'm supposed to, pick up items, collect them, I guess. I guess there's only 4 floors. I need to... And of course, I know this is supposed to represent your flashlight, at least when you turn it on. But to me, it just looks like you're now a giant orange dot with eyes. That's all you are now. So I'll say it's very simplistic, but boy, I'd be wondering, okay, where do I go next? Oh, flashlight wore out. Okay. Do I need to go back down the lower floors, maybe? Let's see. All right, we'll go back down here. See if we can find something. At least something. I mean, the last thing I found was a trophy cup, and I found that. So I guess with my flashlight, I need to explore floors, and look for stuff. For what purpose, I do not know. We'll go back to floor 2. There's the ghost. I'm going to try and move away from him. He gone? I'll follow him. Let's follow him. Nope. Oh, there he is. Nope. There's the bat. I dodged you. That's definitely a spider. Huh. Let me go back to the main menu. Maybe there might be something there. The manual, for example. Ah, yes, a time when instruction manuals were pretty much the only place where you would find plot, where you'd find narrative for the game. Only spot where you would find it. Wow, I can barely read it. Wow. I can definitely make out, many years ago in a small town of Spirit Bay, there lived a mean old man named Zachary Graves. Old man Graves was not a very well liked person. Well, if he's gonna be mean, he's not gonna be liked, of course. He rarely left the old mansion and spent most of his life brooding about the decaying 4-story house. Okay, so the house is 4 stories. Okay. When he died, the house was condemned and locked up. The townspeople claimed that old man Graves knew the whereabouts of a magic urn that was a family heirloom in the first family of Spirit Bay. I'm gonna say that's Bay. It seemed that the mansion was the family's first name, and that the magic urn, which broke into several pieces during the earthquake of 1890, is still in the old town. Yep. Well, I would definitely need a magnifying glass to read all that. Wow. But yeah, this was kind of the thing with older games back then. You didn't have narrative in the game itself. If you wanted to know exactly what the game was, what you were trying to do, you'd have to use the manual. The manual would pretty much tell you the story. So, okay, so the urn. So, okay, that was a scepter, so it wasn't too far off. I did not find a key. I didn't. So, it looks like the screen would say 4 lives left. So, I had a number of... So, wow, I had a lot of lives. Okay. Yeah, so... So, anyway, I'm going to leave this episode here for today. I hope you like it. It was something new, something I wanted to try out. Atari itself, even though I didn't grow up with it, my older siblings, they probably have more knowledge about Atari than I did growing up. I'll say if I was a kid or a teen during that period of time, probably I would be playing Atari. Probably I would be playing with a joystick and button. Probably going with the Atari 2600, and then probably playing a number of these games, maybe. So I probably would find more joy playing it. I do find the history and background stories of Atari interesting. The company was the first of its kind, a video game company that made video games. Yeah, I mean the name still sticks to this day, but it's just basically not what it was anymore. It is a shame that they crashed. It would have been interesting to see what they would have done afterwards if they could have truly competed with Nintendo and Sega if they could have. I mean, yeah, they did. I don't want to say like too much, but yeah, they did try to compete with a couple consoles that just never really took off. But so anyway, I'm just gonna move the screen around here a second. So that'll be, I mean, again, there's still tons of games that are definitely worth checking out for this game, and it's a little disappointing that I don't see like the actual cartridge, or would it show me the cartridge? Maybe. Let me see. Go off options. No. So it does not. It doesn't show me the cartridge. Basically, Atari 2600 cartridges. They are Small, mostly in black, and a little brick, basically, is what I call them. Yeah, there are a ton of them, and I mean, there are more than the games that are on here. I know that for a fact. Maybe next time we could go over. You got time? We can go over some of the other ones of the 2600 because I think I spent more time with the arcade than I did with the 2600 itself. But arcades was a part of our Atari's history. It's where they got started. And the home console is just the way to go. So anyway, that's all for today. So I'm going to bid you adieu and see you next time.